In representing clients, I'm often thrust in the role of having to make my client's injuries understood by the other side, whether it's the insurance company, defense lawyers, or ultimately a jury. And how, we want to ask ourselves, can an injury best be explained? Well, of course, we always heard growing up that pictures are worth 1,000 words. And in this situation, I submit that pictures might be worth 10,000 words because they give real meaning and real explanation to the injury suffered by my clients. That's why I am a huge proponent in this context of demonstrative evidence, or documents or pictures that help the trier of fact, typically a jury, or as I say, if the case is not tried, before a mediator, an insurance company, a defense attorney, something to benefit them, to be more apt to educate somebody, to enhance the understanding of the injury. Take a fractured wrist, in a case I recently had which resolved successfully. And part of the reason it resolved successfully is that the damages became ascertained and appreciated by the other side. It was in a mediation because they saw the hardware that the gentleman had to have put in his wrist in an open reduction known as open reduction internal fixation. And there you can see the plate and the screws and so forth in a positive of the x-ray. And that was one of 3 boards, demonstrative boards, that I brought into the mediation. And I suggest that the kind of pain the gentleman went through, that is my client, is much more apparent when across the table people can see the hardware inside the wrist, such as afforded by this x-ray or this positive. That hardware makes all the difference in the world in conveying the pain a person goes through. We often hear that in winter months, cold temperatures, people experience the metal plating in a much more painful way, that it throbs and so forth. Well, of course, you can understand why. You can see how that might be given what is there for the eyes to see. So I think that you have every right to expect your lawyer to present your damages in a very clear and in a very forceful way. And there is no better way to do that than through what I call demonstrative evidence. And this is typically the kind of demonstrative evidence that you would need to use to present that. It is not particularly expensive. Some demonstrative evidence can be very expensive, but this sort of thing is not particularly expensive. As you can tell, it is simply a positive of an x-ray, but it goes a long way towards showing how my client has suffered. Thank you.